I must press on with the urgent battle this letter pertains to. My name is...
Soon, it'll be home.
I know he's depressed, Seren, but that is no excuse. Councillor Alfred brought a problem before him, and the first councillor blanked. He's constantly staring at that sword, he never sleeps, and even Lady Commander Vix seems nervous around him. The only people who he seems to connect with are those who he grew up with.
I understand that, Clarence. But look at what he has on his shoulders. He believes, truly believes, that the world ended because he couldn't keep a hold of his sword in the dragon fight. Do you understand what believing you killed several million people could do to a person?
I know I'm new to the consulship, but why was the first councillor base chosen as the first councillor if this was a known problem?
Because we didn't know. I think seeing Ember and Sanctuary where it happened has broken him again. I think this was a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. But we can't simply stroll into the council chambers and very well say, Blaze, we think you're slowly losing your mind, and it's probably not a fantastic idea that you're leading us.
No, that wouldn't do at all. We need to speak with the other councillors. I believe this is a problem that should be dealt with on an interior level. Who knows what would happen if it got out that the first councillor was losing his mind?
Clarence, watch your tongue.
No, his heart is just broken. And that broken heart is beginning to disturb his mind. You know his own people used to call him cursed? A prince of Ember, born during the night, not under the sun. And this business with Princess Fire hasn't helped. It seems Ember's councillors are something of a difficult problem.
I will talk to Councillor Alfred and Councillor Timothy tomorrow. Their wisdom generally finds a way through the toughest of problems. Now speak to no one of this. Too much is at stake.
Hello, Hooligans, and welcome home. That's right, we are back here on the world of Edry, Minecraft 1.13, my creative story build world, and Season 2. So, guys, I am so excited about this, and we have a lot of things to talk about. First of all, I want to give a absolute special thank you to our voice actors for the first cinematic, so first story that you guys are going to get out of Season 2. So that was C-3PO returning as Counselor Saren of Valenthian. That was Is That Brandon returning as Counselor Clarence of Rivet. And that was Zoocrafted being introduced as Counselor Duluth of Valenthian. So thank you guys so much for that. You guys really turned that into a lot more of an intense experience than I was initially planning. You guys really just nailed it. So thank you guys so much for that. And yeah, and we're back. It's so exciting, and there's so much to talk about. That over there, that thing, that is the old Tower of the Enlightened, just to let you guys know. I haven't finished it, but we're getting there. We're getting slowly there. So this is going to be the new one. This is just the beginning of that project. This thing is going to be massive, and it's so much fun to do. I'm having so much fun doing little details and everything. So guys, like I said, there's so much to talk about. Firstly, I want to say thank you to all of you guys. You guys have really inspired me with this series. all of your enthusiasm for it and coming up with stories of your own and characters and ideas and things like that, and helping out where you can with filling out character roles and all that stuff. Because we are opening all 8 kingdoms, and we are going to be building in all of them, and we are going to have stories for each one of them. And you guys let me take a month and a half, 2 months off of this series and kind of redo what needed to be done to make it better. And so thank you guys so much for that. And let's see. Oh my, like I said, there's so much. So you guys got to see the brand new series intro. The new series intro was the kind of the kingdoms that were you saw a little bit of the kingdoms, and then it had the credits going over it. So that is going to be in the beginning of every single episode from here into the future. You guys are so weird. The reason I did that is because I wanted a place to showcase my co-writers. And because we have Sunfire SG, Tim, and we now have Conniption Fit joining us, and so it's really, I wanted a place that you guys could see them, because I could tell you, oh, they're down in the description, and a lot of people just don't go down to the description, and so I wanted somewhere that they could be seen, because you guys have no idea how much they're actually doing in this, and it's just really important to me that they are able to find a place that is available and that you guys can actually see them. So you guys will get that in the beginning of every single episode moving forward now, and you will also notice that we went from just the original or the new intro right into the cinematic and then right into this episode. So that means it is a main story that you guys just saw. If there was a kingdom-based story, so something that was very specific to, say, Ember, that would have been followed by the Ember intro, which is the Arabic intro that Octopus Prime on Twitter did for me. So that is how you're going to distinguish the areas we're going to be in. Now, the main story can happen in multiple kingdoms or in not a kingdom at all, maybe on the road or something like that. So just to let you guys know, though, if it's a specific kingdom, then it will have the kingdom intro. But speaking of kingdoms, by the way, we are going to go explore the new kingdoms in just a minute here. But I wanted to mention to you guys that Tuesday we are going to be having the first Stories from Home come out. And it's really good. It was really enjoyable to do. It is actually written and performed by Winged Champ. And you guys will be hearing more from her. She is actually becoming our one of our main characters in the Kingdom of Arcanus. But she actually put all that together, and then I did the video for it, and it was just really cool. And it is perfect for what I want for Stories from Home. Stories from Home is not a place for the main stories. It's not a place for main characters. It's not a place for giant adventures. It is the place for the people that make the heart of Edry. It is for the farmers and the young man who wants to become a knight, or the young woman who wants to become a knight, or the normal people, the blacksmiths, and the people who live here. And it's really easy to come up with a big epic story. There's certain things that just happen in them, and you can go with those. But to come up with little tiny small stories and make them detailed and make them feel alive is really hard. And that's where I just want you guys to know how important the Stories from Home is, and how it gives life to this place. And so that is the place that you guys are going to be able to really shine if you want to. If you want to tell a little story and use things from your life. I mean, if you are going through a bad time, somehow figure it into working into this world. If you had a really good time, you just had a really amazing birthday or something, then somehow fit it into this world. and we'll get there. And I'm hoping that I get more of those as time goes on. So, guys, let's talk a little bit about this story that's happening before we head off into the different kingdoms. So, you guys heard the 3 counselors meeting at night, walking along the beaches here in Sanctuary. And they were talking about Blaze. And since Blaze has come to the New World, which was not very long ago, he's been getting a lot of, PTSD and depression from the battle that happened that caused the Cataclysm. The Cataclysm started in scholarly debate when either the Sword of the Gods plunged down into the ground or the dragon died, which pretty much happened instantaneously. Blaze was battling the dragon way up on a tower. He fell, the sword fell, and the dragon fell. Counselor Alfred saved him, but the sword and the dragon crashed into the ground at the same time, and either one of those things could have caused the Cataclysm. By the dragon. But Blaze fully believes it was him. He couldn't hold on to the sword, he fell off the tower, his loss in battle. You remember, he's raised as a warrior. His loss in that battle, he blames the, millions of people that died from the Cataclysm on himself. So he's going a little nuts currently. He basically, the story is that Alfred asked him a very simple question in council, and he blanked. And he's also been walking around dreamily looking at the stars and things like that. You got to hear a little bit about his childhood, where the people in his childhood, or the people that he leads essentially in Ember, think he's cursed. He was born under the stars instead of the sun, like all of the other princes of Ember. So it's a complicated situation, and I think Saren wants to keep it kind of quiet and try to make it not as complicated. So you guys have that for the main story right now, so keep on for that. That will continue, and you guys will get to see all that. So we have a lot to talk about with these kingdoms, and I know you guys want to get into that, introducing the new kingdoms. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a kind of feel of the stories that you're going to get and talk about build styles for each one. But I want you guys to know that here in the portal chamber we got going on, we have all of the kingdoms set up. So we have Ember, which is right here. You guys have been there. You have been to Scorn. Those of you who came to the live stream have been to Harvest. We have Arcanus over here. We have got Evergreen. We have got Rivet. We have got Valenthian. And then we have this little beauty over here. So I want to take you guys around and tell you guys a little bit about what's going to be going on. Like I said, this is a really full episode of things that are going to need to happen. So let's head over to Ember real quick. And this should be nice and peaceful and easy. Fantastic. So we have actually been in Ember recently. This is where the main story had kind of shifted over, and Ember's story with Princess Fira and her kind of conflict between the fire and ice and the blessed above ground and the unblessed in the frozen underground has been intertwined into the main story, but it's not the main story, or it is the main story here. So it's not supposed to be the main story of the series. But it has been a lot of fun to do. It's been really, really nice to get involved over here in the desert. I love doing desert builds. And the story here is going to concentrate heavily on Princess Fira. And Lieutenant Ash is going to be involved in it, as well as some of the counselors, and some other characters that we'll introduce. One of them that was introduced was actually a priest that Sunfire SG had written out. So Sunfire and I kind of are writing Ember's story together, And it's been really interesting to do a collaboration with him on it, because we just kind of send each other stuff, and he'll send me something every now and then, and I just really enjoy it, and we put it in and we talk about it, and it's been really good. But Ember is going to be very much about cultural difference and almost slight like classism slash like, I don't know, caste system, almost harboring on a racism, even though it is the same race. Like, it is going to be a very intense place, but it is eventually and hopefully going to be about brotherhood. That is kind of the theme of this place, and each kingdom does have a theme, and but I'm really, really excited to continue in Ember. I think it's going to be a very, very cool place, and it's going to be a very, very cool story. So let's go back into Sanctuary, and you guys already know the build style and stuff like that. So, first of all, Sanctuary. Sanctuary is actually going to have a story as well. A couple of people had said they really enjoyed Sanctuary as a place, and so I actually wanted to not exclude those people. So we are actually going to be doing a story in Sanctuary. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. I want it to concentrate on a villain. I want to have, like, this is the government seat. This is the place where, like, politicians would live. And as we continue building, it's going to get, even more elaborate. But this is the place the politicians will be. And I kind of want to create a villain that is kind of a user, like, uses people, very, very silver-tongued, is out for himself, but pretends to not be. Like, things like that. Like, I really, really want to get into that, and then I want to have an opposing force, someone of basically, like, kindness and understanding and stuff like that. I think I actually may want to use some of the counselors for that. Maybe Saren and Duluth to really be the voice of reason and compassion in that. I think that would be kind of a cool little thing to do in Sanctuary as a side story, as a kingdom story. So, Harvest, okay. Harvest. So, Harvest, first of all, this is the area. I have actually live streamed from here before. This is all going to be fields and ranches and, like, just great little farmhouses and little bridges and all sorts of stuff. This is going to be really, really pretty out here. We do have an entrance over here. Yeah. So this is actually what we built on the live stream that was specifically for home and just kind of answering questions and stuff. I'm still working on some things on it, but this is the entrance to Harvest. So you're going to come from Sanctuary, which is way over there, go through the ice fields, and then you will eventually reach Harvest. So this is all going to be just wonderful and homey, and it's going to have so much nature and beauty and wonder, and then it is going to have the darkest story of the entire series. I am not lying. The whole theme of Harvest is, like, it's kind of almost a social thing on, well, you remember the good old days back in 19 whatever or 18 this, and but, like, this picture perfect scene, but, like, behind closed doors there were really terrible things happening, and that's kind of what we're doing with the story in Harvest. Harvest is going to appear to be lovely rolling hills and little, like, I want to do little Hobbit style houses and, like, farms and big fields of grain and, like, all that stuff. But the story of Harvest is going to be very dark. It is going to be what happens behind all of the closed doors, in this time. It's going to concentrate on two different families, and, dark secrets of their past and things that are happening around them. And this is actually mainly being written by Tim, so T4E. He is actually going to be the main story writer for here, and we are just having loads and loads of conversations about what we want to happen here and what's going to be going on. So expect a little dark like dark story out of this one. I'm not gonna lie, it is probably our darkest story, which is really kind of not ironic because it's on purpose, but it is the point that this is probably going to be one of the most beautiful places. But that's on purpose, you know. There's always those little dark secrets. And oh, we're in the ground. Okay, now Arcanus. Arcanus is one of my stories. One of the places I'm going to be working specifically. So Arcanus is going to be our kingdom of magic. It is going to centralize itself around a magician school. So anybody that has magical ability is going to. This is where they come to learn. The architect went here for a little while. Let's see, the Red Witch was here for a while. This is where Counselor Alfred is the headmaster of. I am still debating where I'm going to be putting the school, but it's going to be quite a large build. And then the rest of the town is going to just be really magical. Like, I want to do... I kind of want to do, like, these big crystals that jut out of the ground and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of, like, really cool little ideas that we're coming up with this. And the color palette is kind of interesting as well. I've kind of been working it out a little bit. So we've got like some like different weird colors, like the blue terracotta. We've got the white terracotta mixed in with like some of the jungle planks, but we have oak logs and moving into some granite, and it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be colorful. I do want to add some more color to it. As far as the story goes with this place, so this place is going to be kind of our magical CSI, is a way to look at it. It is going to centralize itself around a crime, and that is where our main characters are going to go. We have at least 3 main characters that we are going to have here. One is going to be voiced by Wing Champ. The other is going to be voiced by someone named Jay, who's going to be playing a character named Storm. And then we have another character named Rylan, who I'm still actually seeking a voice actor for, which needs to be a very specific style of voice. But I am really excited about this place. I think this is going to be fun. Also, the character that Wing Champ is playing is named Lady Akron. She is actually the daughter of 2 very important characters in the main story, and you guys will get to find out all about that, so that will be fun too. Let's continue the little tour of the places that we are going to be building. Let's see here. We have got... Where's my torch? Because my torch shows the way. Alrighty, Evergreen. Okay, okay. So, Evergreen. I'm really excited about Evergreen. This is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most out of the stories. Mainly for almost kind of like personal reasons. So this area is going to be, first of all, build style. We're going to be doing like the elven style here. So this whole culture is going to be very elven like build style, but the actual culture is going to be Native American themed. And so the story you're going to get is going to be in the Native American culture. Now, Conniption Fit and someone you guys haven't met yet, Chian, are actually collaboratory writing on this one. And Chian was actually just brought in very, very recently. She is actually the one who did the voiceover for the Arcanus intro. But both of them together are going to be making something really cool here. So let me explain a little bit about what's going to be happening. This story for this area is going to centralize around a self-reflection journey and a kind of not really coming of age, but coming of person story. And it is something that Conniption is going to be really, really focusing and writing on. And, you know, what's making this really special is that he has some things in his real life that, you know, he may not want, like, me to share specifically. If he chooses to, he can. But he is going to be using a lot of the story writing for this as a healing process for himself. And just to know that I am able to provide a platform to do that is really, like, heartwarming. That's really, really cool. We talked about it, like, about a week ago, and it was really, really awesome. And what's bringing something even more, like, amazing into this is that with Chian joining him as a collaboration writer, Chian is actually Native American. So she has extended family that live on reservation. You know, she has it in her blood. And it's really cool that she's going to be able to actually help us bring this culture into this world. And she is actually going to be voicing a character, as is Connuption. And I don't know, like, what else they have planned for that. I don't know if they want anybody else in it. It's going to depend. I'm sure there will be, like, little spaces where other people will be involved, but if it's a self-reflection journey, so if I told Conniption straight away, like, if you want this to just be one person doing the voice acting on it, that's fine. But he's actually brought Chian into the story, and Chian is going to be playing a character called Whitebird. Now, what makes this extra special is that Whitebird is actually her grandmother's name. Like her actual Native American name. So I am really, really, really excited about this place. I think this is going to be one of the most amazing stories you guys get out of this series. So let's, oh, this one still goes outside. I think some of these still do. Okay, so Rivet. Oh my goodness, Rivet. This may, oh, do you not work right now? What are you doing? What are you doing, you goofy thing? Oh no. Oh no. No. Why aren't you working? You better start working. I'm gonna be so mad at you if you don't work. Actually, might have to do with that redstone. I don't know though. Yep. That was so weird. Okay. There we go. Boom. This is going to be our steampunk kingdom. I'm gonna go pretty dark steampunk. I am thinking a lot Fable 2 mixed with some pretty heavy steampunk. And it is going to be brutal, lots of big gears, things like that. The story here we are still kind of playing with. I want to do kind of a man versus machine, or maybe even going a little bit into like a cyborg type feel. I told you this place is intense. But I love it. I think it's so good. And it's going to be a fun story. The intro is featuring Racecrafter, by the way, for those of you guys who heard it. And this is going to be a builder's paradise, but it is also going to be some kind of a pain. But I'm really excited. And story-wise, I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. I want to do some really freaky stuff, like as far as like coming up with some really interesting maybe theories about, you know, where we're headed with technology and stuff. Like it's gonna be cool. I'm excited. You can be excited. I'm excited. But yeah, this place is just monstrous. I love it. Okay. And we're outside again. That's okay. And finally, we are going to head to Valenthian. So, guys, I've been clearing out some trees here recently, by the way. Valenthian, the kingdom of romance, the kingdom of art, of culture, of wonder, relaxation. This place is going to be so beautiful. I am going... Look at this color palette. Like, I ain't even playing. Like, this place is going to be gorgeous. Just imagine this color palette in different ways all over the place. And, like, just these great little, like, you know, beachside villas and these gorgeous houses and these, like... I want to do, like, an opera house and, like, a museum and an aquarium and, like, stuff like that. This place is going to be paradise. And it's also going to be a heist job. Yes, we are bringing a heist job into the world of home. And this heist job is mainly going to be written by Sunfire SG. who I am so excited for all of this. We've been tossing around ideas. Mr. Klatos, who is on my build crew and a very, very special person and friend, is going to be returning as a new character. So he was Mr. Left, who the Red Queen just basically turned into a Law Walker. So he is returning as our lovely troubadour, our guitarist, our musician, who happens to moonlight as the world's greatest thief. And we are also going to be introducing XT Media, who I absolutely love, as Inspector Grimsley. And Inspector Grimsley is very no-nonsense. He's very straightforward. He is just going to be that person who takes everything seriously. I basically told Sonny when I was, we were talking about writing the story, I was like, look, I want the Inspector to be John Cleese in Monty Python Flying Circus. Like, that man could have people in dancing banana suits, or dancing around in banana suits, just doing the most ridiculous things you could ever think of, straight face the whole time. That's what I want out of the Inspector. It's going to be such a fun place. It's going to be our campy fun place. And there's some cinematic differences I want to do here too. There's going to be a little bit of a cinematic difference in every single kingdom. I really want that to be part of this series. So you have things like Harvest. Harvest is going to have different camera focuses, things like that. All the little things between what is perfect and wonderful on the outside and then the dark things that are happening beneath. With Arcanus, I want to go with a little bit of a noir feeling to it. I would really, really enjoy that. And then something a little bit similar here as well. I kind of want this to just be a fun place, so maybe a little bit more brightness in the color and things like that. So it's gonna be a ride. It's gonna be a ride, guys. I'm not even playing. We have all of those kingdoms to go into. Each one is going to have their own unique storylines. They're going to have their own unique character actors and their own unique voice actors, and it's turning into a beast, and I'm loving it. And we are still working on a lot of the lore. The lore is going to be appearing in the History of Home, which is a new kind of sister series that we're going to be starting, that I am basically full circle inspiration on Fix It with. He's been doing cinematics in the beginnings of his Vastin videos that he asked me a long time ago if he could kind of pull the idea off of Home, and now I am pulling the idea off of his Vastin videos to give you guys some lore about the history of this world. And that's going to include some cool stuff, creation myths, things like that. And that's going to be playing through too. And wow, it's so good to be back here, and there's so much to do, and there's so much to do, and so many things to just dive into in adventure. And I want you guys to be a part of that. That is the big thing with this. Together we are strong. That is the big part of the Home series. I want to have a my series, but you guys build it. You guys build this community. And I want, if you guys can, check down below, join the Home Discord. We've been tossing around a lot of ideas there. That's where the co-writers come and actually meet up and talk about different ideas. Now, you guys can't see those, but we are there. And it's also where people have been submitting stories from Home and character art and character ideas and just questions and all of that stuff. It's where everybody that's involved in Home has come out and basically shown support. So if you guys want to check that out, it will be down below. Also, definitely click on all the co-writers. The co-writers are very, very important people to this series. If you are following this series and you're enjoying it, follow them. They are all their own individual content creators as well, and they do some fantastic work as well. So you guys can go check out their Minecraft stuff and all of the other stuff that they have planned. And then look forward to, I think, Evergreen or Arcanus is actually going to be the first kingdom that we get into. I already have a script sent to me by Conniption for Evergreen, and I actually have one written up on Arcanus, so I need to send those out and get some voices done and all that fun stuff. And make sure you guys are checking back on the channel. Tuesday is when we have our first stories from home, and all the other stuff will return. Guys, it is so good to be back. So good to be back. Oh my goodness, it is good to be back. And get that out of my life. Thank you. And guys, remember, we are still doing the Patreon server as well. So that is actually going to be tying in a lot more into the main series that you guys are watching right now. It is available down below, like the link to join up with that. It is only $2.50 a month. And if you guys get on there, you can build your own kingdom that will actually be, like, that whole world is going to be playing into this at an eventual point in the main story. Just to let you guys know. So check that out as well. Follow all the links. Check out all the people. Join up with the home Discord and start submitting your own stories. And we'll be adding a lot of things to the stories from home. Make sure you guys check out all the Discord stuff. Ask questions. That's a big thing. Ask questions. Let us know what you are confused about, anything like that, and we will do our best to answer. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. Season 2 is going to be so cool. And thank you again to all of my co-writers. Thank you to all of my voice actors. And yeah, I'll see you later. All right. Bye-bye.